in that morning, Zuma is not on the ballot. We are calling all our provincial structures as the youth league, all of them. They must pronounce that all 9 rallies a day, all of them, we are calling them. Upon calling them, I tell them that, comrades, tell me, what do we do with these VDs? What do we do with this military, which they are going to unleash? I mean, you want to threaten us about people who were defeated by a July unrest, something in KZN and in some pockets of Gauteng. They were defeated, literally defeated by a July unrest. You think you can stop MK that even exists in Malamulela? In Giyani? In Ulundi, we contested recently, contesting there in Ophongolo. Came number 2. In Inkatha get 1,800, we get 1,700. In Ophongolo, next to the border of Swaziland, you are going to deploy soldiers who were defeated by a July unrest against MK. Samgelo Masego, you know the answer, my man. You know the answer. Even you are not going to vote that day. I'm not going to vote, I can tell you. You will declare yourself this election is not free and fair, and you'll be hating me and calling that he must be arrested as a hooligan. I know you'll be doing that. Like we have done it in Efes Must Fall. But I will never agree that because you can see defeat. You know, there's no need of ANC to claim Umkhonto. They don't, it's not that there's no need. Just try and campaign. Leave us alone. But we're not going to abandon our democratic rights to choose. Enshrined in Chapter 2 of the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, which, by the way, are fundamental rights. A right to vote, freedom of choice of association. We choose our colors. We choose our president. We choose our constitution. The guys choose me as their leader. Choose me. Our t-shirts are ours. When Mbalula wapenelwa, you go to court. Wapenelwa. Unwa budwala boship. Barinkas tswana. Wanwa unwe. Awufetsa unwa. You write to a court. Comrades, wanwa watsuba. Akitibi kitubile. Awufetsa uya court. Kaufela. Rona tshwantse re vume. Akitibi kitubile Mbalula. Comrades, hi. I can tell you, comrades. Samgelo of SABC is saying, what are you going to do? What is the cause of action? He knows the cause of action. Yeah. Even himself is going to vote. Once I know where my friend is registered to vote. I want him to be a living proof. He must share it. Say, hey, I was not able to vote here. I can't see these soldiers. Mbalula, you promised us. Yeah. We'll see where we're going to vote. Because we are not calling for war. We don't want war. You know, we love comfort. I told you initially that I want to eat nice prawns and dietitians and a revolution. I want all of us as black people to be free. But that cannot replace a revolution. We'll frustrate you. And when I say I'll come to you, Samgelo, I like you as a brother. I want somersault you physically. I'll just say, Chief, I'll buy you expensive whiskey. Sit down here, drink with your. But don't go around to those comrades. They will somersault you. They will torment you. Don't go to them. And there are no police here. You fail in unrest, July unrest. You think you can stop MK? You even go on the social media, on the media. You saw wow, my iPad addressing. Cyril goes there. We are ready as the country. We can never allow to unrest. There's some unrest people who are perpetuating. We are going to stop them. I can tell you, Cyril has no capacity. He has no capacity of stopping MK Youth League. He has no capacity. Leave MK Mother Body, us as the Youth League. He has no capacity. In 9 provinces, marshalling our force towards freedom. on the 20. He has no capacity. I want him to deploy even the soldiers that are still training. Unleash all police officers. We meet toe to toe. For this, Democrats will defend it. We want to vote. Put our X. That's all. And we'll do it. Further to that, there won't be declared elections. You'll call me a prophet. You'll come again as media. These elections are free and fair. Voting stations, this, voting station, that. These police are not aware. Then you write another, then you call for another what? Commission of inquiry. We want to see who's an instigate. Then you arrest Bongo's Kanyil as usual. You put him there. You deny me bail. And maybe you take 4 or 5 of our comrades. You brand us as instigators. It's okay. It's okay. 5 years we come out, but Zuma is going to win the ballot after that, because you know who we are. Won't go to allow this thing of in these countries, in these dictatorship countries where just a leader, when he's out, he calls soldiers. He calls soldiers. You have a wrong youth leadership. It's a wrong one. I'm sure you don't wish that. You wish all of us were like all other those ones that I won't mention. So my brother from newsroom, please just repeat your question.
My question was, you are already saying MK is not going to allow what to happen if
yes.
Zuma is not on the ballot and if MK is voting for. Is that an indication that you don't trust the IEC processes?
Okay.
And you don't trust the court processes that are going to take place? Also, just to add, just a question of clarity on the question that my brother asked from Daily Sun. You were saying that the Constitution itself is being manipulated and they want to change it. But the Constitution is very clear in terms of Section 47E, where it says that anyone who has been in prison for more than 12 months and did not have an option of defiance should not be in the ballot. Can you give us clarity around that as well? So why should that then not be used against the former president when it's used against other people who have been in prison without that option of defiance?
Okay, should not be on the ballot or should not be sworn in to Parliament. I want you to read it for me. While you are still, when you find it, are you sure you find it or do you want to go to it now?
Or should not hold public office?
And comrade.
So he should do it.
My brother. We got this man. We got this man.
So you're saying
Wait, my brother, we have collapsed. We have collapsed. You were trying to takarize yourself and your views. Look here. These processes are two. The processes of being on a ballot. It's a separate process from that of being sworn in. For instance, do you know that, my brother, you can be on the ballot too and not be sworn in? Because the vetting of people whom are sworn in is different from that on the ballot. So the ballot process is another process on its own, a standalone process. Holding a public office, what does it mean? A councillor, you are disqualified. A provincial legislature, you are disqualified. A national parliament MP, you are disqualified. Not putting your face on a ballot. Two processes, and you are told by someone who never studied law through a post office, who studied it at university. So, we want to deal with Mbalula until he upgrades his metric. He must register for a night school and upgrade his metric. If I was his lawyer, I was going to advise him, Chief, take this thing out of court. Take it out. This thing is going to embarrass you. Take it out. Even they are relying on all the, who's this one? Zondo. He's perusing the Constitution. But what do we do? This thing was too vague. Because now public office and a ballot is two different things. And it's clear, public can't hold. And it's that. You can't hold public office if you have. Even as a ward councillor, do you know that? So where's the mistake they've further done? Pardoned. Which is subject for another debate. But they are in a big problem that they are dealing with in Lutuli House. Because of what? You put an SJ, Secretary General, who's hyperactive, who take all these things, and who is a high school, you graduated in age in high school, you don't go and upgrade, you become SG. These are the problems. Because if I was SG, I could have perused, you don't need a legal school. You look, okay, that clause you say, my brother, You say, even if my lawyers are misleading me because they want to milk my mind, I would have told them, no, comrades, you are misleading us. Let's take this thing to court. Mbalula thinks exactly that, no, he doesn't qualify. He can't hold public office. So a ballot in the IEC is a public office. So why do I must go submit the names? Because the names who are sent into IEC, they are vetted. Part of the things is criminal record. Are you not sequestrated, like when you owe until the court sequestrates you, there's a legal term that they put there. Then they vet you. These names who are submitted to Parliament, others are going to be disqualified. There are no names submitted to ballot. The ballot for vetting, what. Mbalula doesn't know. He signs papers assigned by him to court and appeal. So we are clear. We don't have confidence in the courts of South Africa under the leadership of Zondo. The first person that we want to do, the first person, because you have good judges, you have good investigation officers, but you have Zondo as a head. When the head is rotten, the whole board is difficult to survive. Zondo, the first thing when MK takes power, we are chopping Zondo's head. Zondo is a liability. Because he's a friend of Cyril. He was supposed to call Cyril and say, Chief, this thing is not possible legally. But I know where they meet, supervised by their white friends, they are trying everything in the book. What can you use to disqualify Zuma here? Including create a public confusion between being sworn in and being on the ballot, which are two different processes. I that I will abide by the South African Constitution, that I shall. You are saying that's being. Then there's a confusion which is non-existent. Then you threaten us with soldiers. Can't be. So MK government, the youth league is clear. Zondo must go. Zondo must go. Is a problem. Is a problem. Even a credible court, the credibility. You know, separation of powers was done specifically for such confusion. Don't bring politics into law and into the executive. Because in the ancient times of Rome, in the ancient times of Shaka Zulu, you had the council of Shaka, they were judiciary, they were the kingdom, they were parliament of some sort. Even in Rome, churches by then, they were judiciary. A judiciary, literally, a church leadership in the Roman Empire will sentence you, investigate you, pass the laws, and it's the executive. Then with the maturing of democracy, we then had separation of powers. These guys are killing all that. You want to put IEC, you want the law to play the politics. Because that case is a political case. Even a person who never went to school knows Umkhonto was disbanded in 91. MKNV is disbanded in 2021. What are you claiming, Mbalula? Then you threaten court. You think you're playing politics. You think you're playing with the focus. You threaten that you are going to, which soldiers are going to be commanded by Cyril and Lisi. So, we are clear on that, comrades. Let's go, let's move forward. Let's hope there are no longer hands.
Yeah.
This thing is long.
No, the media briefing has been long indeed. And now I am. Will be number two, my sister from KFM. I'm tempted to suppress you. But let's allow you because we are a transparent organization and we want to clarify issues if there are any contradictions.
I thought Samuel was a problem. I see a problem emerging. Another Samuel tendency emerging. Oh, Samuel sent him.
Okay, before you begin, just after the president has answered the questions, then our Secretary General will do the vote of thanks. Thank you very much. Number one.
Okay. One is just short. My name is Mr. Kanyile, you said you don't trust the process in Africa. Do you trust the IEC?
of Zuma being on the ballot is not a challenge for you guys, but definitely would be a challenge should you get enough votes and he may not be able to go to Parliament as an MP. How are you guys going to deal with that? Do you have somebody else that you are prepared to then send in his place?
So my question is also similar to my sister. It's just, in the beginning you were very clear that the presidential candidate for the MK is Mr. Zuma. So how then do you work around that? So let's say you win the elections, then how are you going to work around that discrepancy then that says that he cannot be so there?
Okay. We don't trust the courts because of Zondo at all. The IEC, we are giving them a benefit of a doubt. So far, there's nothing that they've done that can make me to come and say we don't trust them. They've ran elections previously, credible, that were fine. Of course, with discrepancies. There has been some challenges where ballots, they come late, where in other voting stations, people, there's chaos. But it has never been whereby 50% of the VDs in South Africa are in crisis. So how do you measure the credibility of the crisis? We have 23,000 voting stations in South Africa. 23,000 of them. Half of those voting stations, when there's a crisis, you can't declare them free and fair. So declaring free and fair for all elections, there will always be those pockets of discrepancies. Ballots coming late, here the counting finishes late, and what. But once it becomes a clear thugger, that's where we can turn a U-turn. So me saying it here before they run elections, that we trust them, they're credible, IEC. I don't want to be a prophet. Let's see how they run the process. Let's see these voting stations. Many things, you know, anything can still happen, guys. In all these 323 voting stations that we know by head and their location, anything can still happen. And for elections, for them, Jay, to be officially a bogus elections, undemocratic, half of those voting stations, when they're in tatters or in chaos or shut down, it's done. You cannot have a credible elections on that. Accepting the elections, if we are not robbed, we will accept elections. What we want free and fair elections. Comrades, leaders, I can tell you, we are already sitting on 9.6 million. ANC won elections with 10 million. Elections, 10 million. They don't even have 1 million membership. DA is number 2 official with 4 million. EFF is number 3 with 1.8 million. I'm still asking whether we are speaking the language of losing elections, number-wise. These guys are contesting with Cyril, with such a high price of the petrol price. Guys, there's no way elections are going to be defeated by ANC. In this country, we're not contesting with other parties. Many have tried and many have fallen. Others are imaginary parties, they exist in their head. You know, you form a party, then you wear a t-shirt, you call media because the editors are your friends. They come, then you say, we are launching a party. I won't mention it because they will say there's a series of attacks. You know the guy. I formed the party and we are now voting. I'm the new. You think you are some sort of mini Obama, a bogus Obama. They are no. So here it's ANC and MK. We are contesting with Zuma and with MK Umkhonto. You know the truth. In our rallies, we don't buy food, we don't pass people. Asibabiz baya izela. In fact, as MK, we have not called a rally. People don't know that, yes? We have not called any rally. We have not given people t-shirts. These t-shirts are not given by somewhere in some bogus program where you are given Kentucky Fried Chicken. No. Asbabi is by Isaiah. Now you would think there's competition between Cyril and Zuma. Petrol, bread, the cost of living, load shedding. You still believe, you know what they are relying on? You must see when the enemy is panicking. They are relying on that they steal, they use IEC, they capture it, they steal votes, then they declare themselves to have won with 53%. Then they unleash soldiers. That's the only tactic they can use. T-shirts are not going to save them. Speeches are not going to save them. So the only thing that we need to do is for IEC to be truthfully independent and for us to hold the ground tight. Once they declare elections that MK has lost and we can see that these elections are bogus, we won't accept those elections. We are not going to accept it. There is no way we can be defeated by Cyril. No way. No, it's not possible. And I know, you know that journalists here are MK. Yes. Are MK. They are MK. Utulu yabona ukuthi is just protecting his job at KFM. Utulu call them. You know, mina ngibathanda sebenjani ama journalists because others are my friends. Ngibathanda sebedakiwe. Yabo sebebudlile. Sebedla ama strawberries. Na mama we bayana bathi yabo Cyril. Cyril is taking the country down. I am China. Not imkhonto. Ngitsama ke imkhonto ubaba is our leader. Ubaba is our leader. Ngibathanda sebedakiwe. Angibafuni besopa bebuza idaily study sathi ene what if you are defeated umnika ibhodlela lehene esovini umbuze sedakiwe uzokutshela ukuthi hayi ubaba hayi abangaphuzi mphuzise ngenkani ngithole sedakiwe mesasopa khululeke and others they cannot go out kodwa othulu uyababona ukuthi impilo baye understand kubiza ngisho idatha umjolo uyabiza yabona nje le nkunzi yakanyuzi kumlokhu ngipheke mbuze ukuthi emjolweni wakhe kunjani ziyakhala ukumaintain kuwes makuthi uyacheat kuwes under Cyril leadership by science it's been proven under Zuma's leadership we had the most stable relationships. The breakups have increased, especially in black families. It's the economy. You can run away and say what? My brother in newsroom, you know we are struggling. I don't know how much you are paid, but I know it's tough. What when cheat? We are born so we are winning. We're not going to accept elections of losing. We're not going to accept that. We're winning. We won't accept. There's no lose. It's not possible. It's not possible. If they say we have lost elections, we are going to dispute as the youth league those elections. We're disputing them. There's no way, from petrol attendants to park stars, to kings, to journalists, to street vendors, to taxi drivers, to taxi associations, to informal settlements. If elections are declared that we have lost them, we will dispute them. We'll be the first one as the youth league to dispute those elections. It's not possible, comrades. It's not possible. Even as the ANC. But yay, the economy is now in Cape Town. Money is more circulating in Cape Town than it was circulating in KZN in Johannesburg. We are starving as business people. There was a blesser, there were blessers under Zuma's leadership, more blessers. Usamukele washerisha ngisho lonto le. Wayisherisha kanti ngizombona ngathi ngizombamba le. Ngizombamba. Under Zuma's leadership there were more blessers. When Zuma was president of this country, there were more blessers. You know these guys who are not transformed intellectually, when they get money, the first thing is to prey on our younger sisters and use them for their sexual needs. Instead of saying, my child, can I take you to school? Can I give you money to open a business? But they buy a child a mower and this thing. There were more of those guys under Zuma's leadership because they were in business. Go look for them now. This blessed thing is a thing of the past. They are suffering. They are no longer there. You know these people I speak about who big stomach, small pants, maybe it's at the age of 48, 55, is wearing those ugly Versace shoes, those ones, and big dimmers. Most of them, they are dark skinned, they are like me. You hardly find the light skinned players. I don't know why. There were many of them because the economy was all over. Now they are no longer there. The economy is nowhere to be found. Do you know that under Cyril Ramaphosa, more people look at their bodyguards? Because the economy is small, they are fighting around the small economy. The economy is small, the money in circulation. More money is there in Stellenbosch. Kodwa nithi nina mangidliwa umasidliwa njenge MK so kwenze njani. We're not going to lose. Those disputes in the illegal are bogus, are not real. Are bogus. Tulu. Corporate Tulu. Ngiyabona phela i-corporate. Ngiyabona ke libuka. Corporate Tulu from Kaya FM. Zuma will qualify. They did a presidential pardon. Not even a pardon. It's something. It has a name where they say all your remission. Or shy some girl. Yeah, I should have from the church. Some girl has from the church Cambo. Lama high school they call it over 500,000 for year. Since 150, the feeding scheme. So one of Bongo at Pakistan. We party large. Among the callers of Belum, Elijah Corner, ear dictates of 12 meaning and even fruit, even overlooked that was overlooked fucking squacan and umfutumez. No one can buy chicks at Hambikai. There must be a fruit and what. We found that looking at remission. Yona. Again. Umbalula agas. Whereas when we get 2/3 majority, we change the constitution. The first step is the constitution. We'll get because MK is more than 50%. Then we take these black parties or EFF. Take EFF. We take ATM. We take PAC. We get that 2/3. If we don't get 2/3 outright, we'll get to these black parties. ANC comrades, it's gone. I have those of voted Aliantolia. Ngiyabonga comrades esichinga cela uvalo ubonga ngisafuna imibuzo bafuthi ngiyabonga sobuzana ngaphandle manje kulithi kuyozithola umfana nombalula no TV
amandla ngizocela uqale ngibonge i-provincial leadership ukuba khona kwayo ngibonge ne-NEC ngiphinde ngibonge futhi the news outlets nama comrades sibonga nokubekezela kuyena usamukelo even though the district president so sesayibhala i-media briefing salo. Thanks.
Comrades, for me, that's now a refreshment. The budget is like a fee. But in the next media briefing,